This Luke Skywalker lightsaber costs $250, and this one costs $460. The difference between them might surprise you. Is the premium Luke lightsaber actually worth it? Today on Lightsaber Life, we're comparing the Galaxy's Edge Legacy Luke lightsaber to a Proffie Neopixel saber. Brightness, sound, accuracy, value, and more. Let's get to it. The Legacy lightsaber comes with the hilt, this hard shell case, the blade emitter, but not one of these. However, generally these run around $50 and the hilt is about $199. So I'm gonna include them together for the sake of this comparison. The Disney Saber is your classic entry-level retail lightsaber. Now to the big boy. What's that? The smooth, shiny, beautiful Proffie version of this Neopixel from Sabers is awesome. Of course, we get our hilt, this incredible travel case, a battery charger, the blade plug, a display stand, and this beautiful Neopixel blade. By the way, Disney lightsabers take either AAA or AA batteries. The Sabers lightsaber comes with a premium Proffie soundboard, which is top end. You seriously can't beat it. We're gonna break down category by category, and some of the things I'm about to tell you might surprise you. Here's the comparison side by side. You can see that the Neopixel is a little bit thinner. It has a little bit heavier weight to it, as I would expect, but it's absolutely perfect. Now you'll see the necks here, right? The emitter. So on the left here, I've got my Disney, and on the right, Sabers. This color gold here is just slightly off. I like it. It doesn't look cartoony or cheesy to me, so I think it looks really nice on the wall. This is a little bit more accurate to what we see on the screen, a little bit more faded, less animated. So in that aspect, Sabers wins. However, if I'm looking up top, Disney really nails it with the display emitter here. There's no display emitter when it comes to the Sabers one, and you know, you've got your holes for retention screws. Those are what keep the blade housed very firmly. I don't love the way this one looks, but that is such a stretch. I wish it came with a display emitter. Now here, if you look at the buttons, absolutely wild. Disney got it wrong. Red is there, green is there. It's hard to see on camera. On Sabers, green is there and red is there. That is the way.
This is the way that
it should be depicted. So that's screen accurate if that matters. You'll also notice the finish on the Disney one is shiny, but slightly less shiny than the Sabers one. Sure, the Sabers is a fingerprint magnet, but it is just fancy. The Disney one might look a little bit more like a weathered lightsaber. Emitters very similar down below. Good sound ventilation on both. All in all, this might be one area where the Disney lightsaber actually wins, but don't get used to it. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna install the blades. I wanna show you how quick and easy it is on one versus the other. So if you're looking to go and spin this really quick, one has a clear advantage. The Legacy lightsaber has this emitter, which we're gonna replace out here. All done. And now let's install the Neopixel. Remember, I said this has retention screws, so we gotta tighten those down. Super tiny, Allen wrench right here. Finished. Perhaps that's another win for Disney. Now we're gonna light these up, and this is where Neopixel changes the game. Here's where the turntables.
How the turntables.
The light up is one of my favorite parts of every review. However, I cannot wait for you to hear the sound quality of the Neopixel. It is gonna blow your mind. More on that in a minute. Let's light up Disney first. And now, our Neopixel friend.
A dark path we walk.
I know. There's no other way out.
Night and day difference, baby. Insane. What is this, 10 times as bright? I don't even know how to actually technically measure that. See the clash here, the Disney one, the Sabers. Let's see what these look like in the dark too. Disney? No competition, folks. You see the brightness on the Neopixel. You see the flicker. Absolutely unbelievable. We are just scratching the surface. I want to also get granular with the ignition. So on Disney's blades, when they ignite, they kind of ignite in thirds. The lighting is very choppy. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. Take a look here. I'll stand back. It's like boom, 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 instead of just smooth like a lightsaber would ignite. Coming down. Kind of almost just flickers off as it's coming in. It's not smooth at all. But here is the Neopixel, the smoothest ignition. What's crazy is on the Proffie soundboard, if you want to edit it on a PC, you can actually go crazy with it. You can change the ignition speed, some of the blade effects. That's a topic for a whole nother time. Here we go.
You don't know what you're facing. You won't go any farther.
It feels like a legitimate lightsaber, absolutely beautiful. Now we're gonna get into some of the blade effects. So some of the visuals that you can see from each. And I gotta say, this is where the Legacy begins to feel like a toy. But also we see how thick the neck looks now on Disney's with this emitter. Before, I was saying that this was an advantage for the Legacy lightsaber. Here's what the Neopixel looks like. It's the same, so that advantage has kind of disappeared. But lighting up the blade, we get our typical flash on clash. So watch, you'll see old school yellow, which is really cool. And that's it. That's the effect. Blade effects. I should say blade effect. Are you ready for the Neopixel? I don't think you're ready.
I won't make it easy.
By the way, this has motion controls.
Did your best.
Are you kidding me? I do have a button here, but who wants to do that when you're a Jedi Knight? Here's our blaster deflect. Incredible flash on clash, look at this. It moves. See? This has tip drag and a few other features, but what I do want to show you is this. You know what? Let's look at one more thing on the Legacy before I show you that. We're gonna jump into a sound comparison, and this is not even fair anymore. Let's hear the ignition sound as well as that clash again. For what it's worth, Disney nails what the sound is. The quality of it is nice. It's where the volume comes in. It's a moderate to lower volume. You can't really hear it very well. They did nail the tone from Return of the Jedi, so they get around to kudos here. There's the clash sound. Feel like I'm on the second Death Star with Darth Vader. And that is basically where it ends. This does not have what we call smooth swing. In terms of how sensitive the swing is, let's hear. You gotta kind of make a real big sweeping swing for it to trigger on the soundboard. Doesn't always hit, it's laggy. It's there, it's fine. If you're just starting out, there's nothing wrong with this lightsaber. I own this lightsaber, I paid for it myself, I love it, but I'm gonna acknowledge its shortcomings. I don't know if you're ready for what I'm about to show you on the Neopixel. Seriously, get a snack, get a drink. This one from Sabers comes with tons and tons of what we call sound fonts. Plus, you can customize it if you are savvy. We showed you Luke already. Let's see what else we got on here. So now we're double dipping here. We're showing all the blade effects, the colors that come with this, as well as the sound fonts. This does have smooth swing. Look how sensitive it is. It also has accent swings, so in some cases, if you swing it fast, it has almost like this reverb echo. We'll get to that. One of my favorite sound fonts ever. Now, how can this be? There's LED lights, very fancy ones, by the way, throughout this entire blade. So I will say you probably don't want to duel with this one. Although some companies say that you can. I wouldn't recommend it. Get a dueling lightsaber. I've got videos on those. The Pod Racer from Episode 1, Sebulba in particular. Ready? That's the accent swing I was telling you about. Incredible. My second favorite sound font here, the speeder bike chase in Return of the Jedi. With Luke's lightsaber, how fitting is that?
Luke Skywalker.
These are just some of these sound effects and blade effects that you can mess with. I'm barely scratching the surface on this. If you want to see a dedicated video to that, check out that one right there. After we finish this one, obviously. So we know the Neopixel's starting to run away with it. How do these things handle? How do they spin? First and foremost, I would not duel with a Disney lightsaber. Some people say you can. So if you own one Legacy blade, and they come in 3 different sizes, by the way, this one's a 31, you can interchange them with almost the entire Disney Hilt collection. That's That's like 90% of the lightsabers that you could walk away with from Galaxy's Edge, including ones that you make your own custom at Savi's workshop. So that's a great advantage here. By the way, the Neopixel blade, they're also interchangeable in some cases too. Sorry, Disney, it's not looking good for you. Let's spin this thing. Very good grip. Here it gets a little dicey, but it's still fine. It's not that much bigger. If you want to spin this around with your friends or around a campfire or something like that, again, don't recommend dueling, but this is just light enough where you can really spin it well. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber made for spinning. And here's the Neopixel, same thing. Now this one's a little heavier. It feels accurate to me. This is probably what I would imagine a lightsaber would feel like if they were real. But that being said, don't duel with this one. If you're gonna do tricks, make videos, anything like that, this one's absolutely awesome. I think the advantage here probably goes to Disney if you're just talking about spinning it on the grass and if you're thinking about possibly even dropping it accidentally. Don't do that. Here though, this is where the visual feast comes to life. We've talked a lot about these lightsabers, and in almost every way, I truly recommend the Neopixel. But before we talk about who each of these is for, how much do they cost? What does it actually look like? The Disney, we're talking, if you just want the hilt, $199.99 US, you can get it on DisneyStore.com or in Disney Parks right at Galaxy's Edge. The blade does not come with it, but it typically retails for close to $50. In some cases, Disney sells them together. Anyway, that in essence makes this a $250 lightsaber. If you have a blade, as mentioned before, you can use it on this one. Now the price on this high-end Neopixel Blade Proffie Soundboard collectible from N-Sabers is $460 US as of the time of recording. $460 for less than the price of two of the Disney ones. You're talking a huge leap in value.
Make it easy.
The quality, the features, all of the complete package that comes with this, the difference in quality is way bigger than the difference in price. Now that being said, even though I think there's a clear winner, who should buy the Legacy? Who is this for? First of all, if this is your first lightsaber, you could do a lot worse. If you're going to Galaxy's Edge for the first time, or maybe you want to bring home a souvenir, this absolutely is worth it. What a cool memento to say that you got this right at Batuu. If you're a casual fan, meaning you've just started to collect lightsabers and you're not sure if you want to make this into a full-time hobby, this is good value for that. Buy one of these before you buy one of the bigger guys, just to know if you want to make this a thing. Now, with our winner here, with the Neopixel, I do think this is for a lot of people. In particular, let's say you are a serious collector. Me, I want one lightsaber from every company that I can get my hands on. I want at least one version of every character lightsaber, if not several. This one is for the serious collector. And honestly, that price point is wild for a Proffie lightsaber with a blade and the carrying case that I mentioned, not to mention all the features. And then if you're gonna buy just one lightsaber, I've known friends over the years who just want one lightsaber. They're not a freak like me who wants to collect everything under the sun. Not a freak. This would be an amazing one and done lightsaber. Buy this, showcase this. This will make you happy for the rest of your life, I swear. Until you get that bug and want another lightsaber. And by the way, when you go to get this at nsabers.com, use checkout code LightsaberLife for a discount on the product. So $460 becomes even cheaper. Are you serious right now? I'm dead serious. So my final verdict here is yes, both lightsabers have value, but it becomes a runaway contest with our friend over here, the Neopixel Blade. If you enjoyed this or found value today, I'd ask that you hit the subscribe button. I'm getting close to 1,800 subscribers. It's been a lot of fun building the channel so far. And if you're kind of on the fence and you want to check out more videos before you subscribe, that's the next one you should watch right there. This is where the fun begins.